Every 4 years, the entire world stops. Offices close early. Streets go silent. Billions of eyes lock onto a single screen. The FIFA World Cup, the most watched sporting event on the planet, pulls in more viewers than the Olympics, more than the Super Bowl, more than anything else humanity has ever staged. But here's the question nobody asks at the watch party. Who is really winning the World Cup? Is it Argentina? Brazil? France? Or is it FIFA itself quietly collecting billions while the world cheers? Welcome to the Info Lens, where we zoom in on the stories behind the stories. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the FIFA World Cup from its humble, idealistic origin in 1930 to the $13 billion money machine it has become in 2026. We're talking about how it started, how it exploded, who profits the most, and the hidden truths that FIFA does not want you to know. Stay till the end, because what you're about to find out might change the way you watch football forever. Let's go! To understand the FIFA World Cup today, you have to go back to a small village in eastern France in 1873. That's where Jules Ernest Séraphin Rimet was born, the son of a grocer, a man who would one day change the world of sport forever. Jules Rimet grew up with two great passions, football and a deep belief that sport could unite people across class, race, and borders. He wasn't born rich. He wasn't born powerful. But he had an idea, a big one. In 1897, Rimet founded a sports club called Red Star, open to anyone regardless of their social class. This was radical for the time. While others built sports for the elite, Rimet built for the masses. By 1904, FIFA, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, was founded in Paris with just 7 member nations: France, Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland. Football had been growing globally, even appearing in the 1900 and 1904 Summer Olympics. But Jules Rimet had a bigger vision, a tournament purely for football, run by football, for the world. When Rimet became FIFA president in 1921, he finally had the power to push his dream. International football was still tied to the Olympics, and Olympics football was amateur only. Professional players, the best in the world, couldn't compete. Rimet wanted to change that. On May 28, 1928, at the 17th FIFA Congress in Amsterdam, Jules Rimet stood up and made the proposal that would echo through history: FIFA should stage its OWN World Championship, independent, professional, and open to all nations. The 30 members voted yes. The World Cup was officially born. For the first host, FIFA chose Uruguay, the reigning Olympic football champion, and a nation about to celebrate its 100th year of independence. Uruguay even offered to pay all travel expenses for visiting teams. The only problem? Europe was in the middle of the Great Depression. Making a 2-week sea voyage to South America was expensive and risky. No European country initially agreed to come. It wasn't until Jules Rimet personally persuaded, some say begged, for European nations, France, Belgium, Romania, and Yugoslavia, to board the SS Monteverde and make the long journey to Montevideo. And Rimet himself sailed with them, carrying the World Cup trophy inside his personal luggage. On July 13, 1930, in Montevideo, Uruguay, the very first World Cup match was played. 13 nations participated. Uruguay won the trophy on home soil. And a tradition was born that would grow into the most powerful sporting event in human history. Jules Rimet was never just an administrator. He was a dreamer who believed football could build bridges between nations. He was even nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1956. But fast forward nearly 100 years, and the tournament he imagined has become something he probably never dreamed of: our multi-billion-dollar global empire. The World Cup didn't just grow, it exploded. Let's trace that evolution quickly, because it's important for understanding how the money grew. 1930, 13 teams, Uruguay. 1934, 16 teams, Italy, first qualifying rounds. 1950, 13 teams, Brazil, post-WWII interruption. 1970, first World Cup broadcast in color globally. 1982, expanded to 24 teams, Spain. 1994 teams, USA, record 3.5 million tickets sold. 1998 expanded to 32 teams, France. 2022 32 teams, Qatar, $7 billion in revenue. 2026 48 teams, USA, Air Canada, Mexico, projected $13 billion. Think about that jump. From 13 teams in 1930 to 48 teams in 2026. From a single host nation to 3 countries co-hosting simultaneously. From 0 broadcast rights to $4.3 billion in TV deals alone. The World Cup didn't become a business by accident. Every expansion was a financial decision as much as a sporting one. More teams means more matches. More matches means more tickets. More tickets means more broadcast rights. More broadcast rights means more sponsors. It's a machine. And it only knows one direction, UP. Now, let's talk about the money. Because this is where things get extraordinary. The FIFA World Cup is not just a sporting event. It is one of the most profitable business operations on earth. Let's walk through exactly how the numbers break down. Revenue growth over the decades. 2010 South Africa, $3.66 billion. 2014 Brazil, $4.8 billion. 2018 Russia, $5.36 billion. 2022 Qatar, $7.57 billion, a new record. 2026 USA or Canada, Mexico, projected $10.90 to $13 billion. That is a 56% increase from 2022 to 2026 alone, in one 4-year cycle. So where does all this money come from? Television and streaming rights are sold across more than 200 countries and territories. For the 2026 tournament, broadcast rights alone are projected between $3.1 billion and $4.3 billion, a 22% increase from 2022. In the United States alone, rights revenue jumped 94% compared to Qatar. Fox and Telemundo hold the US rights. Streaming platforms like DAZN are also entering the space. Just one country. One deal. Hundreds of millions of dollars. FIFA's sponsorship model is built in tiers. At the top, global FIFA partners, Adidas, Coca-Cola, Visa, Hyundai, Kia. These are multi-year, multi-million-dollar partnerships. Below that, World Cup sponsors, Budweiser, McDonald's, Qatar Airways, American Airlines, Marriott Bonvoy. For 2026, for the first time ever in World Cup history, all 16 global sponsorship positions were completely filled. Every slot sold out. Sponsorship revenue for 2026 is projected to exceed $2.80 to $3.80 billion. Qatar 2022 sold nearly 3 million tickets, generating $686 million in ticket revenue. Hospitality packages added another $243 million. But for 2026? With 104 matches instead of 64, and with venues across the massive North American market, ticketing and hospitality revenues are projected to reach close to $3 billion. That's a potential 216% increase. FIFA controls ticketing entirely through its own subsidiaries. No sharing. Full margin kept. FIFA partners with video game developers, merchandise producers, and collectibles companies. The FIFA video game franchise alone generates hundreds of millions annually. For the 2022 cycle, licensing brought in $769 million. That figure is rising. Here's the business model genius most people miss. FIFA is technically a non-profit. But here's the thing, FIFA loses money in the 3 years before the World Cup. In 2023, they reported losses of $390 million. In 2024, $616 million. In 2025, $248 million. A cumulative loss of $1.25 billion. Then, in one single year, the World Cup generates over $10 billion. The non-profit runs at a loss for 3 years, then collects everything in year 4. FIFA also holds over $5 billion in financial assets, $1 billion in cash reserves, and $2.7 billion in strategic reserves. This is not a struggling sports federation. This is one of the most financially sophisticated organizations in the world. Now, to be fair, FIFA does distribute significant sums back into football. Prize money for 2026? The total prize pool for the 48 participating nations is $655 million, a 65% increase from Qatar 2022. Every qualified team receives a minimum of $12.5 million just for showing up. Reach the knockout rounds, and that number climbs. Win the whole thing, and your country takes home approximately $50 million. Argentina earned $42 million for winning in Qatar 2022. But wait, those numbers sound huge until you realize clubs releasing their players for national duty receive compensation too. For 2026, FIFA committed $355 million to the club benefits program, $250 million for the final tournament and $100 million for the qualifying phase. Manchester City alone received $4.6 million from this fund after Qatar 2022 for releasing 16 players. FIFA also runs the FIFA Forward program, distributing development funds to all 211 member associations for infrastructure, coaching, youth development, and competitions. But here's the tension, generating close to $13 billion from a single tournament, while FIFA's president Gianni Infantino earned approximately $6 million in salary last year, with limited external financial oversight, sits uncomfortably with the label of non-profit. All right. This is the part of the video FIFA would rather you skip. Because beneath the stadiums, the trophies, and the anthems, there are hidden truths that the world's biggest sports organization has fought hard to keep out of the spotlight. In May 2015, the United States Department of Justice dropped a bombshell. 9 FIFA officials and 5 corporate executives were indicted on charges of racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering. DOJ alleged a 24-year scheme to enrich themselves through the corruption of international soccer, involving over $200 million in bribes. Several high-ranking officials were arrested in a Zurich hotel in the early morning. FIFA's longtime president, Sepp Blatter, who had run the organization for 17 years, was ultimately banned from football-related activities. The US government eventually accused 45 people connected to FIFA of more than 90 crimes. But here's what's chilling: when FIFA hired its own investigator, attorney Michael Garcia, to look into the Qatar and Russia bids, he spent 18 months compiling a 430-page report. FIFA reduced the report to 42 pages and cleared itself. Garcia resigned in protest. The 2022 Qatar bid is perhaps the most controversial hosting decision in World Cup history. Qatar is a nation smaller than the state of Connecticut. Its team had never qualified for a World Cup before being automatically included as host. Temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius in summer, which is why the tournament was moved to November for the first time ever. And yet, Qatar was chosen. Why? Leaked documents obtained by the Sunday Times revealed that Qatar's state-run broadcaster Al Jazeera secretly offered $400 million to FIFA for broadcasting rights, just 21 days before the host announcement. The contract allegedly documented an additional $100 million to be paid if Qatar won the hosting vote. FIFA's own analysis reportedly flagged almost every aspect of Qatar's bid as dangerous or problematic, and former FIFA president Sepp Blatter himself later called it a mistake. This one might be the darkest truth of all. To build the 8 stadiums and infrastructure for Qatar 2022, the country relied almost entirely on migrant workers, men from Nepal, Bangladesh, India, and beyond, who paid recruitment fees of $500 to $4,300 just to get a job there. Workers lived in cramped, dirty camps far from work sites, sometimes with 8 to 12 men sharing a single small room. Many had their passports confiscated, making it impossible to leave. Some reports suggest that hundreds, if not thousands, of workers died during construction. One Kenyan worker who was imprisoned for speaking out about these abuses said he actually had better living conditions in prison than in the labor camps. Qatar spent an estimated $220 billion to host the event, making it by far the most expensive World Cup in history. More than Brazil's $15 billion in 2014 by an astronomical margin. Who paid for that? Not FIFA. The workers, and ultimately the Qatari public. Here's a pattern that almost no one talks about. FIFA generates billions, but host countries often go into debt. Brazil spent $15 billion on the 2014 World Cup. Critics noted that many stadiums built for the tournament are now underutilized, the so-called white elephant problem. South Africa's 2010 World Cup left several stadiums struggling financially years later. While FIFA keeps all broadcast revenue, all sponsorship money, and all licensing fees centralized, non-negotiable, the host city and country bears the burden of security, infrastructure, municipal services, and stadium modifications. FIFA even requires what's known as clean site standards, banning competing brands within miles of venues. Local businesses can be pushed out. The World Cup comes to your city. FIFA leaves with the check. There's a growing term in the sports world, sportswashing. It refers to how powerful governments use mega sports events to distract from and improve the image of their human rights records. Qatar 2022 was widely criticized as sportswashing for its restrictions on LGBTQ+ rights, treatment of women, and migrant worker exploitation. Now, Saudi Arabia has won the right to host the 2034 World Cup, despite a human rights record that has worsened under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, including mass executions and severe suppression of political dissent. Human Rights Watch stated clearly, FIFA has failed to learn the lesson that awarding multi-billion-dollar events without due diligence and transparency can risk corruption and major human rights abuses. FIFA awarded the 2034 World Cup to Saudi Arabia without a competitive bidding process, the only country to submit a bid. Even the 2026 World Cup, happening right now, in North America, is not without controversy. A travel ban affecting citizens of 39 countries, including 4 World Cup participants, has prevented many ordinary fans from those nations from attending matches in the United States. A visa bond program initially required fans from 5 African nations to pay deposits of up to $15,000 just to get a visa. Trade unions accused FIFA of blocking labor inspections at the renovation of Mexico City's Azteca Stadium, raising concerns about undocumented and unprotected migrant workers. Dynamic ticket pricing, where prices surge based on demand, has meant ordinary fans are priced out in favor of corporate hospitality packages. And despite all of this, the tournament marches on. Because the broadcast revenue keeps flowing. The sponsors keep paying. And billions keep watching. So where does all this leave us with the 2026 FIFA World Cup? The 2026 edition, co-hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, is officially the largest World Cup in history. 48 teams. 104 matches. 16 host cities across 3 countries, an audience that FIFA estimates could reach 5 billion people. Projected revenue, between $10.9 billion and $13 billion. Ticketing and hospitality are projected to triple. Broadcast rights have jumped 22%. All 16 global sponsorship slots are sold out, a World Cup first. The prize pool is $655 million. The club benefits program is $355 million. FIFA's total spend on the tournament ecosystem is the highest in history. And FIFA expects to book over $1 billion in net profit across the 4-year cycle. The 2026 World Cup isn't just a football tournament. It is arguably the most profitable sporting event ever staged on this planet. Jules Rimet dreamed of a tournament that could unite the world. That could transcend politics, class, and borders. That could channel the energy of nations toward something beautiful. And to be fair, on the pitch, it still does. When a child in Lagos screams because their team scored. When streets in Buenos Aires erupt. When India, the UK, and South Korea all hold their breath for the same penalty kick, that is something real. That is something powerful. But the institution that hosts that magic? That is something very different. FIFA is a $13 billion empire dressed in a football jersey. It is a non-profit that profits. It is a global unifier that has repeatedly been caught dividing, corrupting, and exploiting. The World Cup is both the most beautiful sporting event on earth and one of the most complicated business stories of our time. And now, you know both sides. That was the full story, the origin, the billions, and the hidden truths behind the FIFA World Cup. If this video opened your eyes to something new, do us a favor, smash that like button. It genuinely helps us reach more people who deserve to know this story. And if you're new here, welcome to the Info Lens. We zoom in on the world's biggest stories and find what's hiding in plain sight. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. We want to hear from you in the comments. What surprised you most? Did you know about FIFA's corruption scandals? Let us know below. Next up, we're going deep on another story that the mainstream won't touch. You don't want to miss it. Until then, keep questioning. Keep looking closer. This has been the Info Lens. We'll see you in the next one.